Howdy, folks. It's great to see you again. And today I want to talk to you about the secret behind Van Aaken's method of training. So if you haven't watched the previous episode on Van Aaken's variable pace long distance training, I highly suggest you watch it. But if you're already familiar with the content, then I'm going to tell you one simple but very critical or very important element in Van Aaken's training that could help you greatly to use this method. And that is when we talk about variable pace. In the previous episode on Van Aaken's long distance variable pace training, we talked about varying your pace throughout the long run, extending the run by using walking breaks, and then injecting 5 different paces: marathon race pace, 10 km race pace, 5 km race pace, 800 meter race pace, and an all-out sprint. And for each pace, we never run a distance beyond which we would start getting into oxygen debt and start huffing and puffing. That's not what we want to do. We want to avoid oxygen debt. That was the goal in Van Aaken's training, because he believed that we should build up our aerobic capacity, the mitochondria in our muscles and the strength in our cardiac muscles, rather than just promoting oxygen debt tolerance and lactic acid tolerance. So that's the opposite, because that would withdraw energy from this bank account of energy, which is our body. So Van Aaken's proposal was that we run very long, very slowly, but inject at various points at a ratio of 20:1, 20 slow kilometers to 1 kilometer of faster running. Inject 5 different paces into the run. So you actually get to practice all 5 different paces repeatedly. So you could practice each pace more than once, maybe even several times, depending on how long your run is. If you're gonna do a stride every 2 kilometers, for example, okay, and you run 10 kilometers, you've covered all the 5 paces. But if you run 20 kilometers, you would have run each pace twice, 30 kilometers thrice. And if you're running 40 kilometers and beyond, at least 4 times for each pace. So that's something to bear in mind. But how do we do this without it becoming rather mechanical? So the real secret behind Van Aaken's training method is utilizing child's play, the way children play as they run. And Van Aaken used this as an example to teach his method of running. He said, look at children, they never get tired. They can play all day long, they can run all day long. And the reason is they run, and when they're tired, they walk. They run, and when they're tired, they walk. They don't stay at one monotonous pace that we've become conditioned to do, maybe through PE classes or whatever kind of training that we've been mechanically inculcated with. So we don't want to do that. We want to avoid that. We want to be playful and creative in our runs, and you could run literally forever, right? So bear that in mind. That's what I want to share with you today, that as you perform your 5 paces in your runs, that you do them playfully. And one of the reasons this is so effective is that when you play like a child, when you run like a child, not only will it be more easy, but you'll be more relaxed. You won't have contrived movements that drain you of energy, excess use of muscular energy. You would just be relaxed as you do it. And you're not going to worry and think about technique. Children don't think about technique unless they have been ingrained with it by some coach or by their parents. Otherwise, they just play and run freely. And that's what we want to do. We want to run freely even at the 5 paces that we stride out at. And of course, for most of the run, which is run very slowly, we want to be able to enjoy the run and run like a child. So that's what I want to leave you with today. And I hope you enjoy your runs this week. Until we meet again.